How to place the heat bed on the A1 3D printer. First, start by moving the heat bed all the way back and the horizontal rail all the way up, as you can see in the picture. Next, remove the silicone backstops on the heat bed and unscrew all the screws that you see, as you can see over here, and there should be 4 of them in these locations. After you unscrew these screws, you can then freely lift the heat bed and place it next to the printer. Then tip over your 3D printer and lean it on a filament box or some kind of book or something. Then unscrew these 3 cables for the Z motor, the X motor, and the camera, and also unscrew the screw that you see over here so that we can pull this box back and remove it from the 3D printer. Then unscrew these screws over here, and then these 10 screws over here. After you've done these ones, you should be able to take this plate off, and this plate you should also be able to take off. Then, on the left side of the 3D printer, or this side of the 3D printer, this plate, behind this plate, near the bottom, you can see this area. Alright, and there's going to be these cables. So this cable kind of looks like it's metal and has clear coating around it. So just push on the metal part of it and pull it out. And there should be 2 of them, and you're going to disconnect both of them. And in addition to that, this 4-pin connector over here with all the different colors of wires, you're going to disconnect that too, just pulling it out. Next, we're going to unscrew the ground cable that we can see over here just by unscrewing it and then removing it from the printer. And after we're done with all this, we can start by pulling the heat bed cable out of the printer, and we want to make sure that all of these parts come out with it too. And now we can start assembling our new printer. So first what we're going to do is we're going to put our 3D printer upright, and we're also going to make sure that the cable box is on top of the printer so that if it was under the printer it would get damaged. Next, we will get the new heat bed and route it and try to place it exactly on these plates, as you can see over here in the bottom, that will have the screw holes. So we're going to try to place the heat bed so that the screw can go and touch these plates at the bottom. And next we're going to screw these screws and put the silicone backstops on the thing. And next, we're going to tip our entire printer over again on maybe a book or a filament box. And this time, we're going to get our wire, and we want to hold it in the correct way so it doesn't tangle. And then, we want to start pushing the wire through that tiny hole over there and getting the wires, as you can see, the 4-pin connector and those 2 metallic wires, we want to get them back to their location. So as you can see, mark number 3 here is a hole. We want to get it through first this big hole on the very edge of the printer, and then this number 3 hole, and then we can get to the other side. And then we just want to push in the cables into the correct connectors, and the order of the metallic ones doesn't even matter. So you can put 1 after 2 or 2 after 1, doesn't matter. And then we're going to attach our 4-pin connector, as you can see here. And you want to make sure to tape down the cable, and Bambu Labs provides tape for this exact reason, because it's really important to have that cable stay there. So there's going to be quite a few wires going into that one 4-pin connector, and we want it to tape down. Next, we're going to screw in our ground wire, which will basically connect our printer to ground, or negative. And then we're going to screw these 10 screws in, and then push the plate. So just push the plate in. It might take some effort, but you got to make sure it clicks. And then we're going to screw these screws in. And next, we're going to make sure that our heat bed cable is correct, right? As you can see in the right picture over here, the heat bed cable is just a nice smooth curve. This is the way we want it. In the next picture, this picture, we see the heat bed cable tangles. We don't want it to be like this. So make sure to turn the cable until we achieve a nice smooth curve. When you achieve that, push in this plate And this is going to lock the heat bed cable in. So after you push in this plate, you can't do any more adjustments. So you want to make sure that before you do this, the heat bed cable is in the correct position. And next we're just going to screw in the 6 screws that we need for this location. Then we can reattach the cable box and make sure to attach the cables to the correct locations based on the color. For example, the orange cable will go to the Z motor as that's an orange highlight. Same with the X motor, it goes to green because green highlight. In camera, we can see the white, so it's going to be there. And then finally, after all of this is done, flip your printer up, turn it on, and heat it to 40 degrees Celsius and test for two things. One is making sure that it actually does gut up there to the 40 degrees Celsius, and two is making sure it can stay at 40 degrees Celsius for a consistent time. If it can do this, congratulations, you just fixed the A1 3D printer heat.